Welcome back to the Talkin podcast brought to you by the folks at Chief of Staff KC. Glad to have you back, Lucas. How was your Thanksgiving?
That was great, man. Feels good to be back. We safely ate too much turkey and too much pie.
There you go.
We're back on the grind now, and we're back here. So I appreciate you bringing me back.
Well, sounds like my Thanksgiving. But this week we're joined by former jock turned entrepreneur, TJ Roberts of Farm Bureau Financial. TJ, stoked to have you here this week. Thanks for filling in last second, by the way. And how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, man. Well, thank you first for letting me be here.
Of course, yeah.
It's always great to get to network with awesome young entrepreneurs. Thanksgiving for me was quiet.
Yeah.
I'm from a big family, so Thanksgiving for me was nice to be quiet. It was just me and my dog. And then
What kind of dog do you have?
Yorkie Maltese.
Okay.
People laugh at me for that, but
I can't even picture what that looks like. I'll have to look it
up.
up.
7 pounds of cuteness.
There you go.
Right there. So yeah, that's my little boy. And I had a good friend of mine who actually won just recently from the pitch the best consignment store. One of my friends, Jenny, she invited me to her house for Thanksgiving, so I got to have Thanksgiving in a unique way with them, and then I called my parents and that kind of thing. It was cool.
Nice.
So it was actually like real chill. I was like really thankful for that, just because my family is so crazy, man. It's like 30 people, just crazy.
Hopefully next year we can get back to the big family gatherings and what we all know and love, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think the times today has created a lot of challenges and new changes that we've all made our best efforts to adapt to, and some of that's been good and some of that's been difficult, right?
Yeah,
so,
which we'll get into.
For sure,
But yeah, TJ's got a number of really cool things going on, and we'll kind of go over everything he's working on. But he also played ball at K-State, so he's got a unique perspective into the football side of things. So, the Chiefs moved to 10-1 with their sixth straight win over the Tampa Bay Bucks last Sunday. Hell of an offensive performance. We'll get into that, as well as our preview for Sunday night against the Broncos coming up here. But first, we're bringing you our Positions of the Week, brought to you by Chief of Staff KC, your local trusted talent scouts. We'll bring you the best accounting and finance, admin, and marketing. There you go. Operations, sales, and HR talent that Kansas City has to offer. Lucas, what do you got this week?
All right, so I pitched a company that I said you could retire a millionaire a few weeks ago. So we have another exciting position with the same company. It's going to be located on the Kansas side. It's actually a little bit higher level role. So we worked on an AP specialist position last time. This is going to be a staff accountant role. So already you can see the vertical growth there within those two positions, and then there's even more further on up. Probably 3 to 5 years of experience. Corporate accounting would be preferred. Construction industry, so like AIA billing, attention to like the AR side of things, so more on those receivables would be a good emphasis or focus on this position. But you're also going to have a lot of the day-to-day operational side as well, reconciliations, general ledger work, etc. So really good company, robust benefits, and can take you a long ways in your career. So give me a shout.
Yeah. And mine on the operations side is actually a financial operations position. It's kind of a confidential search, so I can't really say too much detail. I don't know why I picked these ones to talk about on the podcast, but it's actually going to move quick here before the end of the year. I need to have experience in the financial industry, kind of daily transactions, daily reconciliations, just kind of running those trades, things like that. Very high level position with a really cool company as well here locally. So if that sounds of interest, or if you know someone that's looking right now before the end of the year, let us know. And before we jump into things, I do want to give a quick shout out to our Chief of Staff team. We actually staffed, like 80 contract roles in the last 2 weeks.
We've been grinding.
It's been a grind here before Thanksgiving, but just shout out to our whole team. You guys killed it. And way to go.
And for any clients that are watching, right, you need a large workforce,
there you go.
Quickly mobilized with a good group of people. Hey, we would love to assist.
Yeah. All right, take it away, man.
TJ, thank you for being here with us this week, man. I'm excited to get to know you better. We were joking about how I was trying to find you on LinkedIn before this, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about, not only your background, but the transition from, football to entrepreneurship. So if you'll elaborate a little bit on that for us.
Well, I think it kind of plays within my background. My dad was an entrepreneur, whether he would like to admit it or not. He owned a business, and my dad is also a pastor. Nice. So, part of growing up was seeing him operate as like a leader and as a business owner. And so I took things that I liked and let go of things that I didn't, like any parent to a kid relationship is. And so I just kind of followed the things that I really loved and the things that I was passionate about. And then just like, I've had conversations with you, Emerson, about this, just, how to kind of bridge the gap between taking something that is, white and black on a wall, but why white stands out against black and vice versa, and bringing like the two almost opposite people in one room and just seeing what would happen. And so that's been something that I've been really passionate about. And so it's kind of gotten me into, insurance. It's gotten me into coffee. It's gotten me into networking and like advocating in our communities and building, others up. I think recognition is a really big part of that. And so I just try to do the best of my ability in all of those facets. And then, I'd like to think that I have like a place in the tech business world with some endeavors that I'm working on with a new invention here in Kansas City that would be based. So, like seeing things KC based and seeing the pride behind the city and the entrepreneurial spirit that's behind it, I really kind of want to encapsulate that and be kind of building a dream team and a culture, like we talked to Emerson, of people that are younger than us that are going to be handed this baton in their business industry, but wanting to take, again, the good from it that like our predecessors gave us to, like work from, but also like how to tweak and make better and how to make it more equitable for others in our, in our culture, in our community.
I kind of had a little bit of a brief stint in insurance world as well.
Really? With who?
Yes,
well,
State Farm.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Man.
Okay. No,
sorry.
that's all right. That's all right.
And there's the Rogers rate and what the Mahomes, what's it called? Pat's Price or something. Patrick's
like
Price. I don't know. We'll see. So talk to me a little bit about it's farmers, right?
Farm Bureau.
Farm Bureau. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
So talk to me how you found that opportunity and what you're doing now.
Yeah. So I actually started when I graduated from K-State. I graduated early and moved to Kansas City. Followed a girl in a job, and that was AAA insurance.
Got it. Yep.
And AAA insurance was a great opportunity for me to like learn the sales industry and insurance specifically, customer service and relationship building, as well as just the mentoring process where you're working with people, and then like another month goes by and you see someone else fill the desk beside you because the turnover rate is so high, as you can attest to, right? So, that mentorship aspect of having someone come in when I was new, not knowing the answers, like K-State, I kind of always tell people the story. Like one of the first people that actually like really like said, "Hey, who are you and how can I?" was actually John Hubert at K-State and Tyler Lockett. And the two are completely different types of leadership styles, but I appreciated both for what they were and what they provided in my life. But what I realized in that is being the new guy in the room, it's nice to know someone and to create a friend quick. And so that was a big process of me learning the playbook, learning the culture of the team. Even though I was from Wamego, Kansas, right outside of Manhattan, I knew that when I actually got on campus, there were buildings I'd never been to that I had like walked or driven past a million times, right? And I had never played in a football uniform on the field of Bill Snyder's Family Stadium. So there was like a huge nuance of newness to that. So even if you've sold insurance before and you're like joining a new company and it's your first day, like I was the person that wanted to help.
Right. Yeah.
Essentially. And so that was just a big aspect that kind of got me into insurance, where I actually found that job through like a job fair at K-State. And at K-State on the football team, you don't have time to do the summer internship programs and different opportunities like that. So for me, it was more like, here's my resume, do you like me kind of thing. And with my background, even back in high school, I did sales, and I knew that was something I loved. So I guess insurance was kind of that key trait with a mentor that I have. His name's Mitch Messner. And he just like told me like the everyday life of an insurance agent is what you want to make it. And you get to be a leader in your community, and you get to like be a positive impact to others. And then you get to help them save money, hopefully, with their insurance costs.
Sure.
And so I actually told him about my dad being a pastor, and he was a Christian. And so we just really jived well. And I realized that I could kind of do my dad, if I wanted to be a pastor, which, good gosh, I won't cuss, but good, yeah. Just you know, I didn't want to be a pastor, but if I would want to put that kind of, you know, bullet point focus objective, you know, job that a pastor has, if I wanted to apply that to my job and whatever I did,
Sure.
that's kind of how I could do it,
Right.
you know, and I would have the authority to do that. And so that's kind of how insurance really fell into my lap that way. And then I was telling you about the financial literacy gap between an African American and white people, and just that understanding itself. And so as I got into insurance, I started realizing, as I dug deeper and deeper, the disparity of my culture, the blinders that our culture has on both spectrums. You know, I'm the only African American employed by the company that's a male here in the state of Kansas. There's maybe 6 employees out of the 1,800 agents, if that, out of the 8 states that are with the company. In Kansas City, I guarantee you, I had a conversation with Jill Hathaway this morning, but I think maybe 10 or less insurance agents in Kansas City Metro are African Americans. And so you just start asking questions. Yeah. And I'm like, our culture, our young entrepreneurial culture is just why? Yeah. Why is that happening?
Sure.
What does that mean? Like, what is the relationship between this statistic and how reality looks? And as I lived in KCK and drove to Leawood, or as I like to say, Leahood, the disparity in understanding financial literacy was way different. Yeah. And so I figured I needed to find a way to navigate and connect these two together, and then seeing people be philanthropic along the way. Owning a business is not fun. And so when I went to start, I thought it'd be fun to start an insurance business. So I started Farm Bureau in 2015. And that, like I said, I'm the only one that's African American in the company, and that has presented a ton of challenges that, you know, we as a small company are working on and wanting to improve, which is nice to see that. But I think along the way, just as the small business owners, like, we typically are selfish people. Like, we take care of our bills, we pay our staff, we pay our taxes, even though we hate it, you know, but we're really focused from the open to close period. And, you know, if we're lucky to have the time off, which most of us aren't, you know, we're able to, like, do things with our family and have that time. Sure. And I just felt like maybe a couple of years back, after working with nonprofit after nonprofit, and that's something that's probably unique to me as a business owner, where I will work with nonprofits and I will schedule a day and I will invite my entire book of business to come and serve that nonprofit. And the benefit that I get out of that and the joy that I have is that I see my clients from Leawood, my clients from Overland Park, Mission, all over the place, coming to one place to serve an entire community like Kansas City Metro. So so I love getting to be involved in that way and being that connector. And so, but seeing that and talking with nonprofits, I got to realize that if you talk to nonprofits and they say, you know, well, the smallest amount of money we raise is from small business owners. You know, we get more from just people that are kind. We get more from J.E. Dunn. We get more from those companies, but these small business owners don't do much. And so that was really where I started to think about being more philanthropic through my business.
Sure. No, I really appreciate you sharing your story.
Sorry,
that's great. No, you're good. And, you know, speaking from experience, if you guys are trying to shop your rates this Christmas, reach out to TJ.
Thank you.
The name and the smile right here is he's going to take care of you versus those Progressive and those phone call centers that don't have somebody backing you. So give me a shout.
Yeah, well, TJ and I, we randomly enough met on a comment of a LinkedIn post, and then quickly became friends after that. But we got coffee a couple weeks ago, and just to kind of tie into what you're talking about, like, one of the things I respected most, you know, about what you're consistently saying is just your commitment to building community in this city. And so one of the cool things that you were talking about is, you know, your coffee background and wanting to, you know, kind of curate your own vibe of, you know, just community and mission. And so can you kind of tell us a little bit more about that project?
Yeah, essentially, like, that's a project that I've kind of been working on from, like, just in passing with people and connecting. And all my meetings in insurance, if anyone wants coffee, I'm the guy, because I always have meetings with coffee. So I'll buy you a cup of coffee and we'll talk insurance. But if we're not doing that, you know, essentially, like I was telling you, coffee creates community. It really does. How many times you look into a cafe and just see one person sitting by themselves? It's people connecting with one another, doing business deals, and regardless, it's two people working together. And so that's community. And wanting to create a cafe that would be a part of the community of where it was at was influential for me, but also to see that be a representation of an African American and an insurance agent, where that would be the best way for me to be represented to other African American children.
Awesome.
And wanting them to understand, like, if you're in insurance or if you're just doing anything in a professional service industry, you have an obligation to give back to your community, not because you're forced to, but because you can.
Yeah. Sure.
And so that was just part of that opportunity, and like really exercising different methods, doing my own research. And so that created this idea of kinship coffee, and having that be an opportunity where it'd be a cafe that people could come and have meetings and opportunities with one another, but also could experience a full service coffee service, so it's a different concept. There's no registers, there's no, like, it's an open concept. It's actually based from some cafe models out in West Coast, in San Francisco, and so the whole design is really for you as the customer to have full control the second you walk through the door. So if you go to Starbucks right now, you sit in line, or you go to anywhere else, you really do sit in line. Dude, just do mobile. Come on, man. Stop. We're done with the line. Like, we can't even do it because we got to be 6 feet apart anyway. So, exactly. So either do that or sit down and I'll come give you your cup of coffee, however way you want it. So just different ideas like that, and having the cafe be a opportunity by day to be a coffee shop and a bar lounge, because I do want to serve liquor.
There you go.
Come on. Gotcha. But also, at 4:00, the after school programs start, the tutoring mentorship programs start, the business seminars start, the opportunity to have different opportunities for families, mothers, husbands, fathers, all of that, to have those access to the resources, like I was talking about, the disparity, to have just a platform that people like you who want to help others can just come in and plug and play, So that's just what we were connecting on. And, and if that happens, great. During COVID, I mean, it's been looking like that will happen, but it's just going to be slower. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, like, I'm just passionate about that, man. And it doesn't really, I don't know. I've gotten to meet an amazing amount of people in KCK down in that community that are like would-be gangbusters for that. And so I'm really excited to bring something like that to an area that definitely needs it.
Well, that's why we love having these young entrepreneurs on our show, these fresh ideas, these really cool, exciting, unique projects that can roll out. And so with that being said, we love asking everybody just these rapid fire questions at the end, and you'd be a great example, and hopefully have some of these ready to rock and roll. So with that being said, a first down would be a recent success that led to sequential success. So a first down for your company or something that you've personally had lately. We're going to ask you for a SAC, which is a recent setback or failure as of late that you had to overcome. And then a Hail Mary, Patrick Mahomes style, be a lofty goal you have as a small business owner for the end of this year or even next year, since we're so close.
Yeah. So the first down would definitely did I hit it lucky? My first client was owner of a very successful business that continues to give me business on a monthly basis.
There you go.
So
awesome.
That was 5 years ago. So I think it's worked.
Yes.
And I appreciate them greatly. They're awesome people. SAC would be COVID, but I can't use that because that's too easy.
I think literally everyone has said the same thing.
But I mean, I would just say,
well, it's good that you got to rack your brain for one.
Yeah.
Well, I have to pick which one is the worst. That's the one. It's like, which one do you
Love
pick?
honesty.
I would say, I don't know, man. Like, I would say COVID, but I would say that it would be what COVID did to my business partner. What COVID did, because my secretary has, thank God she's alive, is going through chemo with breast cancer that was diagnosed this year.
Oh, wow.
To my mom going into psychiatric care, to my dad being a pastor, not being able to have and run his church,
Right.
to all these. I mean, there's a multitude.
Yeah.
So I couldn't pick one, dude. But if I could pick one, man, it would have to be. I'm gonna try not to get emotional. It would have to be just the state of, like, shock
Sure.
that people have had with the racial inequality.
Yeah.
That would probably be my biggest one. Just because I've witnessed things in my life. I was one of the first African Americans to graduate from my high school. I've experienced racism from the day I was born in that community. It's just surprising how, like, small-minded people actually have looked, and then how far we have not come to the reality that we are finally seeing today.
Sure.
That it's not the same. And thankfully we have people like Mayor Lucas, Kiana Sinks, Turl Ray, Busy Benton, Wesley Hamilton. I mean, I could just go on and on about the people I know that just want to do some amazing work for their culture, but just for people.
Sure.
And that's just like David Oliver. Holy crap. Just I mean, just awesome people that are wanting, Aaron, right? Aaron Folk, There's just a lot of people that are actually pushing that envelope. And I appreciate them and you, because that's how we met, and that's, if we are 65 years old and we are talking at a table about how we met to our grandchildren.
Right, dude, right.
I mean, that's what the impact is. And people don't realize we have to continue to reach below. Like, we have to continue. Someone reached out to me today and they were like, you should, like, mentor young children. And I'm like, man, everyone should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, or wherever. Take them to chief staff.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But it's one of those things where we have to continue to look at our young and the sacredness of, like, their creativity.
Sure.
To see our innovation for our world becoming better.
Yeah, I love it. I appreciate you sharing all the sacks, and you're still getting back up, brushing yourself off, and pushing forward.
So my goal. You said the Hail Mary from Mahomes. The Hail Mary from Mahomes would be caught. And
first one to say that. I love that.
The Hail Mary from Mahomes would be caught, and I would say, man, it would be a multitude of things. It would be just my coffee shop being opened in 2021, my business endeavor being invested in 2021, and then, like, I would just, as a lofty goal, because you said it, $300,000 in sales and the insurance.
Let's go.
So, like, that would be pretty awesome.
We got it on tape.
Yeah, it's on tape.
I'll hold you to
my
it.
insurance company is gonna hold me to it. So
there you go.
Good deal, man. Well, we really appreciate you sharing those questions, the answers. As far as the business side, we're gonna go ahead and wrap that up.
That's fine.
Let's chop it up.
Let's chop it up.
So,
let's go.
Man, what did you think about this showcase of Mahomes' magic? Because we love giving the guests the first take of the most recent game, and so with that being said, time's yours.
Are you surprised?
True.
I mean,
very true.
Chiefs fans probably not, right?
I will tell you this one play. I will tell everyone this one play. When I knew Mahomes was the real deal was when I was playing at K-State. Mahomes had the ball going into the end zone on the 45 on the right hash. He's in shotgun, fakes it to whoever. He's rolling to his right. Jordan Wilkins, who's playing Willis, thank you.
Rockers boy.
From Rockers is chasing after him, and Mahomes just stiff arms him like he's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's nothing.
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
People don't realize that.
He's like 6'5", 280 pounds. And in college, I don't know who he runs now, but in college he was like a 4'6". At that weight, that's insane. I mean, we called him man-child sometimes, just because he came in like a hoss, and he was awesome, dude, real quiet. But Mahomes rolls around. He rolls the entire side of the field. He throws from his 40 on the left hash, rolling to his left. Throws it across the field to the right. The touchdowns, right? You got the end zone back, and you got the pylons. He threw it to the right, complete opposite side of the field, right at the pylon.
That is nuts.
Double coverage.
Yeah.
Double coverage, corner over the top, perfect pass, just right here, bro.
And we watch it on TV, but like I had a very brief stint in high school. You obviously played at a way higher level than I did, but to actually experience that on the field, I can only imagine as a player, you're just like, oh, crap. This guy is.
Dude, Coach Hayes, he threw his headset down. I never seen something explode that small into that many millions of pieces. But bro, like he threw that. It's so funny because our GA was like picking up all the pieces, and he was like, "There was nothing we could have done." Like he's like, "There was nothing." And so I guess to this week, man, like the statistics, just the firepower, man. I just think about 3 minutes to go and we're down 2 scores. You still can't even be safe. You know what I mean? Just with the weapons we have and the way that he utilizes the entire team. It's legendary.
Well, every time I sit down to write the script, I always feel like I'm talking about the 3 same things. It's like Mahomes a god.
Yeah.
Travis and Tyreek are going off, and the defense did an all right job. You know, not nothing to write home about, but they get us to win. And so like, you know, obviously Hill had that historic quarter, which we've been talking about all week, so we won't get into that. But 203 yards, 2 touchdowns. Like he is cute. I think he's behind like him 1A, 1B with Devonta Adams from the Packers, and like. I mean, there's no argument anymore. Nope. I mean, he's one of the best. And then Travis, he's number 3 in the league in receiving yards as a tight end, which is absolutely absurd. At one point, they were number 1 and number 2 before DK came and had his Monday night showing. But just absolutely insane performances. The defense ended up showing up. Chris Jones has been an animal this year. He's number 2 behind Aaron Donald. Pass rush grade, and then
Pinnell's
we had 2 picks
been
as well.
Amazing. I want to tell
MV Pinnell, baby.
Yeah, I love that grip.
And Nadi, dude. Come on, give some love to those big guys.
Yeah, I know. You got to.
They keep me safe.
So with that awesome performance, let's look to capitalize, right, and move forward. Do it again. We don't have, knock on wood, as big of a opponent or competition this week, but we can't look past them, right? I have a keys to victory coming up, which I'll talk about, a potential trap game. But you know, with this Sunday night matchup with the Broncos, what are your first thoughts on this game?
Man. Drew Lock, take some notes, man, because there's just no way. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I try really hard not to laugh because when I played at K-State, I told my parents to go to the KU games because it was the only chance they would watch me play. No lie, like I wasn't gonna start, and I was okay with that. Not offended by any means, like no lie. But that was like the home court advantage. When we played KU, we whooped the smack out of them, right? And so like this feels so similar to that, where Drew Lock's like, yeah, you can come, like mom, dad, like you may not want to come to this game, like it's gonna be really bad. Like I mean, Matthews got it out for me, and I'm going against Mahomes.
We dominated him last time.
Yeah, what is it, like 43-16?
There's just who was the team that had the backup quarterback? Was that was the receiver that was?
Oh yeah, it was the Broncos.
It was
the Broncos. Yeah, they had everyone out with COVID
or something.
Yeah, they brought him up on the practice squad.
And so I don't know. Like I know I heard that he's playing, but it might be a game like you might want to be like, I think I got the COVID back.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know. Like it's just
bow out.
Yeah, and they're down, and but I'm one of those people that I'm not going to say that it's an easy win, you know, that it's just not in my nature. So, I mean, you still need to execute the same way. If we're talking on those terms, in all honesty, Tyreek Hill should have 450 yards in those 2 quarters. I'm serious. Like, you know, what we thought was historic last week will not meet this week if we prepared the same way. And I think the uniqueness of that, too, is – man, I just love our coach, man.
Yep. And it's
Coach
tough.
Shez. I want to say Coach Shez.
Agreed. It was tough writing the keys to victory this week. I was like, there shouldn't be any. It's like, we know what we need to do. This is a really easy game for us, and that's terrible. My mind's going that way, but we as Chiefs fans are just so blessed because we have this phenomenal core of players that just dominate every single team we play against. But if I had to chalk it up to just a couple points, don't overlook this one as a trap game. You hinted on that, right? You know, have another Bucs offensive performance. We were kind of led in the previous game by our defense and special teams. Pringle had that return, had some interceptions with Sorensen. So let's have some offensive performance against them this time. And then I want to see Frank Clark and Chris Jones just eat. Yeah, we haven't had like a game with multi-sack performance. When's the last time we even had a sack?
Can we go? I know. Right. But so I would say though, I want to see Gay, man.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that.
He played one snap last.
He played one snap last game, and I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see Armani Watts play.
Yeah.
I mean, I really.
He's been special teams. Yeah.
Those guys are real special teams, and I think, and maybe specific packages or downs, but
Sure.
I think that, you know, when I look at the complete team we had last year, we had all of our linebackers, Reggie Ragland, those guys were doing a lot of the work in those blitz down situations. Yeah. And I feel like if we had the speed of Gay,
I know.
True.
I mean,
this Spags defense is hard to like get in your first year, which is why I think he'll come out and be like a breakout player next year. But again, I hope down this playoff stretch, like you remember last year after we lost to the Titans, the defense kind of shored up afterwards in the home stretch, and hopefully they're just trying things out and just I mean, hopefully they shore up and we're good for the playoffs.
I mean, if anything, the one thing that I have liked this year is actually our backfield has actually. I mean, you can look at the statistics, but if you challenge it, by this time last year, we had more passing yards against us, and so I would say that our and this every year it's more pass happy. So keep that in mind. True. And so I think our corners honestly have
they've been playing great,
played phenomenal next to the Raiders, which we all talk about because that was the one game that really stands out.
The anomaly.
And then you add DeAndre Baker too coming up here, like
ramped up quickly.
Yeah,
we got a great young core, and like that's why I was always so excited to play the Broncos this year because I thought they had the same young core. They're going to put it together, but COVID and injuries kind of knocked them out early on. So
they don't have the coach.
They don't. I don't think Fangio is going to do it.
I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but the Chargers scare me more than the Broncos.
I know.
And the Raiders.
Who knew? Tyrod had to get stabbed in the lung for us to figure out Herbert was their next guy.
He's
but
a beast, man.
Yeah.
Let's get into predictions.
Yeah. So last week Grant had 35-27. You were 35-28. You actually took over first place in the standings. So congrats for that. I had 38-31. So I'm about 40 points back. So TJ, what is your score prediction for this game?
All right, I'm gonna.
Chiefs are favored by 14, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna play the devil's advocate. They're not gonna cover.
Okay. I see.
And they're gonna win by a field goal. And
wow,
it's
so
going to be I think it's gonna be like one of those weird like
the Colts
21-19. Yeah. Like how did they get that?
Be a Drew Lock revenge game.
Football, 23 or something.
Okay. Okay.
Just seeing something real odd.
Okay.
23 to what you
said? I say 21-19.
21-19? Okay. I'll go. I think we're still going to hang some points on them. 38. Broncos still get 3 touchdowns. 21. 38-21.
I'm going to go 33-24. Yeah. Okay. I don't think we cover either. I think it's just one of those games where he played so well. Yeah. But I also don't think that Andy's going to have a very sophisticated game plan. I think it's going to go out there, execute, rely on Mahomes to make plays, but we're not going to show anything.
When's the last time we won by 30?
I mean, I know.
I mean, I'm just looking back at that.
It was against the Broncos.
It probably was against the Broncos. But I mean, look at the game last week. We were up 20. What were we up 28-0 at one point?
17-0.
17-0.
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't.
We left points on the field.
We left points on the field, and we played to their. Sometimes I feel like we played to like their emotion, and we're a hype team. Sometimes I hate to say that, but we're a little.
We ride that momentum heavily.
We really do. Yeah. I mean, Kelsey's doing cocaine. Oh, no, I'm kidding. But, I mean, they're excited about what they're doing, and I love that passion. Right at the professional era, like that's really missed, and so I love that passion. So but I do think we just habitually play to our opponents sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Man, I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not. Hopefully we can tell you're dead wrong.
Please.
But, yeah, we'll
on the
see.
show next week. Tell me.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football. I'm excited for it at home too. You gotta let Mahomes shine in the spotlight. He always does. So. Awesome. Well, TJ, thanks so much for being with us. It was awesome to sit and talk with you. But that does it for week 13 of Talkin' Chop. Whether you're listening on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, make sure to subscribe and follow us all season long, even though we are coming to a close here. We should have a longer run in the playoffs like last year. But follow us along. We'll interview some of Kansas City's top execs personalities. But again, thanks for being with us this week.
Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a good time. But we'll catch you all next week. And as always,
Go Chiefs.